Doing?
Good afternoon, Ollie. Very well. How are you?
Very well, mate. Very well. Thanks for joining us in our new studio here on White Ladies Road in Clifton.
No problem.
I should introduce you. So you are a founder of a company called Send It Direct.
Correct.
So tell me about when you started, how you started, why you started.
So it's always been a dream of mine to work for myself. I've had many side hustles along the way. And this was the first opportunity due to someone that I met in my previous role. We both really aligned on the problem. He had a lot of experience in that industry, and we thought, look, finally, it's the time to give up the day job and commit and go in sort of two-footed. So the company was established back in August 2024. My business partner set it up and was running for sort of 4 or 5 months. And I finally took the plunge, quit the job in London, and got into it there. So yeah, it's a same-day delivery business based in Bristol.
And take me back to that moment when you were contemplating going into business. Was there a specific moment you were like, this is the turning point, I'm going for it?
I mean, like I said, it'd always been on my list, and I had many a side hustle, and some performed better than others.
Yeah.
So I was sort of close before, and I turned over quite a good amount of money, but it was only for sort of 12 months. And then it dropped again, and that was like particularly because of COVID. So yeah, it's always been there and wanted to do it, but it's difficult, especially when you're in another sort of employed job. There's all the sort of comforts, creature comforts of that, and especially the longer you stay there, the salary goes up. So I felt the longer I was sort of in that situation, it would be harder and harder to move. So yeah, finally went for it.
And you're not doing this by yourself. You've got 2 other co-founders. So how did you guys meet?
So I met Ben at the previous job where I was working. So he was, we were sort of in a tech scale up delivery business, and we went around acquiring lots of different businesses. And we happened to acquire a business in Bristol that Ben was part of. So I met him there. And then the other co-founder is another James, but Ginger James.
James, yeah.
That's his brother. So yeah, James through Ben.
Excellent. And you went through quite a journey with that previous business, buying businesses and saw a lot of investment.
Yeah.
How did that all end?
Yeah, so it's VC backed, and there was lots of money being thrown around. And again, for me, sort of again, 28 started there, super interesting. And it felt like you could go into lots of different things because again, try different bits of marketing, try this, try that, with the sort of the backing that we had. And through that time, we acquired smaller businesses. We acquired lots of different ones within the transport industry. So same day, overnight, and freight forwarders. And then we acquired Tufnells, which is a big brand over 100 years old. And that had just gone into administration. So we bought little bits of that off really and hired a good chunk of people. And finally, we bought what was left of Yodel and saved over sort of 3,000 jobs. So it went from sort of smaller businesses up until that, all of a sudden a huge wage bill. So again, for me in the sidelines, I was head of sales. It was great exposure, amazing what I was able to see. But ultimately, yeah, I think they struggled, and I could see there was a lot of things going on that I didn't really agree with. And it was, again, helped me to move, but it allowed me to see lots of different points of transport. And I knew that same day deliveries was the one that I wanted to focus on.
And going from all this money sloshing about to running your own startup, talk to me about that.
Yeah, so quite different. So we took a loan to get going, so that allowed us to buy a number of vehicles and do sort of, especially with a business that's in B2B, there was 30-day terms with companies. So in order to get going, cash flow is still something that impacts many SMEs. But that was key to get some money to go, buy a couple of vans and get on board the customers and sort of help that cash flow. And yeah, the first few months when you're looking at the spreadsheet that we keep, we've got all the jobs that we're doing, we've got all the costs, all of the outgoings. And if we didn't have that, I mean, that sort of keeps you sane really. But then you've got to chase the money at the end of it. And that's sort of super interesting. And it's amazed me even today, sort of 17, 18 months in, we still celebrate when we get paid, which we shouldn't really. It's just a contractual thing. But unfortunately, the cash flow is always a little bit tough. But
you've had a very good first year in business. You've got some national press recently.
Yeah.
Talk to me a bit about, yeah, kind of building a brand and building a reputation within the industry.
Yeah, so it was really evident to me and the guys that in transport, it's particularly low tech, really poor branding, a sweeping statement, but we thought we could make a dent by having a good name. I couldn't believe Send It Direct was available, trademark that for sort of clothing and logistics. And then we've sort of doubled down on taking really good, high quality pictures, producing content, to go into lots of different networking events. And that has been a point of difference massively. And of course, the service is great because of Ben's experience and the people that we've been able to onboard. But once you've got that great service, what's the differentiator? So we know we're really competitive on pricing, but that brand has really sort of stood us out. And it's, again, amazing for me to be going out, talking about it, selling it, wearing it. So yeah, super exciting with that. And we've been very strict with where we apply that branding, the sort of the guidelines, the colors, anything that goes out to customers is articulated. It's all got to be sort of on point with our guidelines.
And as well as branding, talk to me about your other differentiator, which is like customer service. You pride yourselves on providing a great service. I know that rings through throughout the company in terms of replying to emails, answering the phone. How does that kind of thread go across Send It Direct?
So yeah, we've got a 24/7 phone line, and that can even end up going to me on every now and again on the weekend. So yeah, that's important. We make money when people they need a vehicle ASAP. So that's sort of really important. It's been super interesting with the sort of the dawn of AI. It's enabled us to build lots of really innovative and interesting systems that make our lives and customers' lives easier. However, you can never replace someone at the end of the phone, particularly in transport. Not necessarily our fault, but there's traffic or there's a flat tire or someone's been let down by someone else. Just they need to be able to speak to someone. A bot or some sentence on a screen will not make up for that. So we said no matter, AI came at a good time for us, but we said we'll never replace the human. So again, we've doubled down on that side as well. So we've always got really great people that are very, very knowledgeable about transport that will be able to sort of communicate with you on top of me trying to sell it in.
I love that as well, because what you're saying is you're going to leverage tech, but also double down on the human connection and that personal service. In regards to the tech side, I know you've built out this pricing calculator that obviously helps customers get a quicker quote, but also enables you to deliver on your jobs better. Tell me a bit about how that came about.
So it initially came out as sort of an internal project to help with our operations team. Because again, if we were going to scale, we didn't always want to employ people that were necessarily transport experts. We wanted to employ lovely individuals that are fantastic on the phone and love talking to people. And the transport element of it can be learned, but the pricing element, again, all about speed, reply to emails within 5 minutes, give prices instantly. That isn't always easy to do off the top of your head. So Ben sat down and took all the numbers, and again, we have to be able to quote a customer collecting and delivering anywhere within the UK. Clearly, collecting and moving a good within Bristol is different in London. So it's all of that is calculated on any 3.5 ton vehicle that we have in our fleet, from small vans to Lutons to flatbeds. So for someone new to come in and be able to do that in seconds, it's not easy. So initially we built this system that would enable, if a call came in or an email, our customer service team can quote a customer instantly. So that's where it's born. And then it started to grow arms and legs, and we thought, look, this is a really cool tool. Let's give it to some customers that aren't as fussed about an email or a call, even though most of them are. So we're like, look, if you don't want to have to always talk to us, you've got this. And that was really cool. And then we've started to customize it more and put their branding on and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's really cool. And that will grow into lots of other things. We've started to build a dimensions calculator so customers can work out if they're not sure what vehicle they need. They can put in the dimensions, the weight, etc., and work out the vehicle that way. So yeah, really cool tool.
And talk to me a bit about the industry at large. You mentioned about maybe sometimes having poor branding. What are some of the kind of I suppose myths around the logistics industry? What are the things people are kind of saying or customers are saying about the industry at large?
Well, I think, say, it is traditionally quite archaic. So again, like I say, the low tech side of things, I think there's obviously a new wave. Maybe there's quite older, like baby boomers are sort of getting to a mature level where they might be looking to sell businesses, which is interesting for me. And yeah, it certainly always needs a shake up. I think you've got to be doing, often what I find, I'm talking to prospects every day, is that there can be a race to the bottom in terms of pricing with the logistics. And the really, from a salesman's point of view, a really poor way to sell is I'll knock a fiver off.
Yeah, 100%.
So we put lots of thought into that, proposals, decks, all the rest of it. So we obviously stay away and sell on service and brand, all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I find that is like what can be tarred with that sort of brush, and you do see it. And yeah, it's trying to give a very professional service versus all of that.
Yeah,
that's a lot of legacy things, and still, like I say, lots of low tech.
Yeah, and some of your customers, obviously, you know, pharmaceutical companies, legal companies. Ultimately, price isn't the reason they're going with you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. So it's all about service for them, and being able to speak with someone, and the van turning up at the exact point you say it's going to turn up. It's quite straightforward, and that parcel's got to be delivered when you say it's going to be there. So yeah.
And kind of into your business journey so far, what's been one of the kind of key business lessons or takeaways that you've learned firsthand, perhaps from a mistake or
very good question. I think it's really just staying focused, and ultimately we've got a fantastic business and service already. We did that within the first 6 months, really, and now we just got to fill it up with customers. And it's very easy to get distracted by other things, and we know that there's like I say, the brand is important, but I could spend ages designing new t-shirts and flyers and like, oh, isn't this business card great? And I'm going to produce this PDF in Canva, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it can't, ultimately, it's like, James, just pick up the phone and knock on doors, and let's fill this way up with customers. So I think distraction.
I mean, it's a very common problem in entrepreneurship and founders, is that shiny object syndrome, where you're kind of being distracted by all these shiny things that look great on the surface, but are actually detracting away from what you need to do. And business is quite simple in that way, isn't it? It's kind of generate leads, generate demand, convert them, sell them, repeat the cycle, and sell to your existing customer base, right?
Yeah. No, it is really interesting. And then more people are trying to sell to you. You build a bigger profile, so then all of a sudden I'm getting more LinkedIn messages. You're sort of trying to weave through them, and I'm obviously trying to do the opposite. And it's like, different ideas, and share it with the guys, and could we do this, could we do that? But it's like, basic is what is going to get us more customers, and make sure the customers that we've got are looked after and get the best service that they possibly can.
And if you're just tuning in, we are now live on LinkedIn, and this is James Garbett from Send It Direct. Your background, James, is in sales, and sometimes sales has got a bit of a dirty connotation, or people are uncomfortable with selling. But what have been some of the hardest or best lessons you've learned personally from sales?
You heard me on the phone.
I did.
Before this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's nothing's ever as bad as you dream, like you think it might be, and you can overplay things. And often I've asked the guys to contribute more to like ideas of prospects, and we're doing that as a team. Like, I'll always going to be going out knocking on doors, but as a team now, it's like, look, James, here's another couple of leads that I've found. Let's make sure that I get sort of 10 additional leads a day from the wider team, and they feel involved in that, and that helps things. But I think, the basic traditional methods still work really well, and I think with AI and tech, more people are happy to hide behind the screen and write more emails and automate this, automate that. But shaking a hand, having a bit of banter, saying hello, having a cup of tea goes a really long way. It's just about having more time to be able to do that. So I try and split up my week to do phones and outreach. But I feel overall the basic stuff is still really effective, and cold calls aren't the most pleasant thing, but I find as long as I get, like I did before this, made 10 calls quite quickly within sort of half an hour, had some interesting conversations, and then one of them was really solid, said there's some committed volume, let's have some prices, and then it makes it all worthwhile. And then you can go on, send the guys a message and say, look, we've got a live one here, boys, let's go for it. So yeah, you need a bit of that along the way, because otherwise it is tough.
You definitely do. And I think some people, as you say, hide behind the screen or a keyboard warrior and can be over reliant on maybe cold outreach or cold emails or whatever the strategy is, or using AI to build out their GTM model. But in effect, the more conversations you have, the more likelihood of converting those conversations into clients. And tell me a bit about networking, because we obviously met originally through Paddle and LinkedIn, actually. So you're one of our founding members. You actually came to the first ever inaugural Paddlepreneurs game, didn't you, James?
Did a very sweaty video afterwards.
You did. We'll have to redo that, one of those maybe. But tell me about the importance of putting yourself out there, building relationships, getting involved in different networks.
It's always come sort of more naturally to me, but if you're a founder, you have to be part of that. And we found, particularly in transport, there isn't as many people doing that. So again, what the traditional transport industry people aren't doing, then I'm going to be doing that. So that was really interesting. And then like Paddlepreneurs, that I can never say, has
Paddlepreneurs. There we go.
Paddlepreneurs has been amazing. And it's nice to meet, again, local businesses, and it's something that we enjoy playing, and it's very competitive, and there's a variety of different abilities there now. So that's been really good, and I've managed to seal some deals off the back of that. And again, when we are today, we've met some really interesting people. So yeah, that is really cool. And then there's other network groups that I've sort of been a part of and sort of rocked up for sort of 1 or 2 sessions, and I just like the opportunity to be in a room with as many people as possible and stand up and have my 60 seconds to a couple of minutes to sort of pitch and explain what it is we do, the problems we solve, and then hopefully sort of something will drop in from that. And it's always nice getting out and meeting people.
Yeah, and I think doing it with a shared interest in mind, like you've met somebody, on a run or on a bike ride or on a paddle court, whatever your thing is, then you build that relationship first and you talk business second. And I think if you're doing business that way round, naturally you're going to develop those relationships over time. As you said, you've done business with some of the people from the Paddlepreneurs group. We're here on White Ladies Road. Ollie from Moose Design, Ollie Ladbroke, has kindly given us some space here to do this podcast. And I know you've done some business with him as well. So I think that, you don't know where relationships are going to go. And I think the more conversations you're having, the more likelihood is that you're going to generate more business and be known for something. Like if somebody thinks logistics, and they might go, oh, you should speak to James from Send It Direct. Or if somebody says paddle to you might go, oh, you should speak to Ollie at Paddlepreneurs, or personal branding, speak to Ollie.
Aren't I?
Hey,
I think I've introduced the most people to.
I think you're top referrer, actually. Sitting top of the leaderboard there, James. So that is good. And tell me a bit about you personally, sort of James behind the founder. Talk to me a bit about personal life. I know you became a father for the first time last year.
Juggling that as well, business and dad was very interesting. But loving that. Apart from the fact that last week he hasn't slept particularly well, but he's called Oscar and he's 7 months old. So that is amazing. It gives you a new perspective on life for sure. And again, having the business, because we managed to stand it up in such a way, it has given me more flexibility. I know for some people, the first year can be really, really challenging, and you are just 100% business all the time, which we're always thinking about it, but it's given me the flexibility to be at home and sort of be with him more and watch him grow. So that's amazing, and long may that continue. Other than that, it's just about, I always thinking about different things to do with the business, and me and business partners are always having a little chat about bits and bobs to do with it and how we grow and coming up with different ideas. And then things like the gym and trying to stay fit now in the 30s, cut back on the alcohol a bit. Look at other that. And you, again, through having a child, you do want to spend more time with family. So that's like wider family as well. That's been like interesting, and met up with more of them recently, and sort of uncles that you've just got loads in common with now. When you're younger, you don't have as much to speak about. It's quite interesting. So that's been great. And seeing more of the extended family, and sort of hopefully eventually grow and move it to other areas of Bristol. is the plan. It's the business as well.
And what's on the horizon for Send It Direct? Where would you like to be in sort of 12 months from now?
So in 12 months now, just have onboarded a really good batch of sort of new businesses in a number of different industries. So like I say, we've got a couple of big law players, but we'd like some more sort of lawyers across sort of Bristol, London. Lots of them have got multiple offices, and pharmaceutical. That's two industries that we enjoy. And we'll certainly be buying some more specialist vehicles. So we've done really well with a number of sort of specialist flatbeds that we've purchased, and they've got some really great niches for building merchant clients that we've got. So we would like to sort of buy in specialist vehicles and then use our network contractors to do more like sort of traditional easy vehicles to locate, like long wheelbases and small vans. And then, yeah, we may look at an office within Bristol, but yeah, really just make sure the business is super healthy. It's still young, reinvest, hopefully be able to pay ourselves more, a little bit more, and yeah, continue to serve who we are, and just basically have a nice new batch of customers in a variety of different industries on board and enjoying our service.
Awesome. James, thanks so much for your time, and yeah, thanks for coming on.
Amazing. Cheers, mate.
You have to press stop, someone.